Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Bump and I are live from T-Mobile, where the Mariners are set to take on the Padres for a matinee series finale here with a 1:10 p.m. first pitch. We've got a 2-hour show. We're going to send you to pregame in a little bit. We're going to start by looking at our biggest takeaways from Seahawks Cutdown ahead of the start of the regular season. Then we got a lot of Mariners stuff to get to, including a great conversation with Jordan Shusterman coming up at 11. Bump, we will start by talking about the biggest move of the day, which was Marquez Valdez-Scantling being released. And here's the thing. Leading up to it, everyone had been talking about how it might happen, so I wouldn't say it was shocking.
Nah.
But if you were to tell me, say, shortly after he was signed, oh, he's not going to make the roster, I'd go, well, what happened? Did they trade for someone? And what do you mean he's not going to make the roster?
Oh, man, Seattle Sports put together a reel when I said he's going to be the sniper of this offense. He's going to be the guy to stretch the defense, to go deep and do all that good stuff. And at the time, I genuinely thought that. Only speak what I believe.
It's not that he's not capable of it.
Nah, he definitely still is. Like I said, I watched all of his snaps of his preseason this year, and he looks good. That's why he got picked up so quickly. Niners are like, for sure, I'll pick him up. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't anything he did. It was more what Horton brings to the table. It was because he is a returner. It was because he has a little twitch when he has a football in his hands, and they feel he can do what MVS can do and more when it comes to special teams, just a bit cheaper. But I was surprised, man. I knew that when I saw him out there for the third week of the preseason that he was on the bubble, and they were trying to create a buzz for him. Maybe he makes some plays, and there's some trade bait there. But everyone just stood still. They said, no, they're going to release this guy. We know what's going on over there with your receiver core. And no knock on MVS, man. 7-8-year veteran, but you have to play special teams if you're going to be that number 3, number 4 receiver. He just doesn't do that. So what happens? He gets released, and the Niners pick him up.
I think the important way to figure out how Seattle's wide receiver group looks right now is to take a step back and kind of go back in time to why they signed Marquez. So if we were to go back to some of the conversations we were having when they signed Marquez, what was one of the issues they were trying to solve?
They needed a guy that was the speedster. You look at Cooper Kupp and JSN, that's not what they do. Now, JSN can win on the outside. Cooper Kupp can win on the outside, but you need somebody whose specialty is getting vertical. Also, you wanted to bring some familiarity over here. He was with Kubiak in the Saints, or with the Saints. And what is the NFL, man? You bring your homies with you wherever you go, whether you're a coach, the GM, whatever. If you have some familiarity, you trust somebody, someone who's been in your system, who knows how you operate, you bring them with you. So, yeah, that's essentially why he got the shot. He knows the offense. The install was going to be easy. He brings something to the table that the other two guys don't. He just got beat up by a rookie who just does more. If Horton was not a returner and just a receiver, he probably might still be here.
So here's what I'm wondering. They brought him in to be a vertical threat because, like you said, Coop is going to take over the middle of the field. Jackson plays predominantly from the slot, certainly did last year. And they weren't going to replace the athleticism of DK Metcalf overall, but you needed someone to be able to do something like that. Can Torrey, who becomes that person? It's obviously not going to be Marquez. So do they have now kind of a need in terms of roles that someone can play? Yeah,
they have that. Torrey can do it. Torrey ran, a 4.4 or something like that, and he said he did that on 70% of his knee. His knee wasn't healed all the way. You watch his film. He's a fast guy. He's probably like a 4.3 type of guy. You watch his film from preseason, he can get down the field. And in this offense, it's not like you're going to be asked often just to line up on the outside, one-on-one, beat this guy. Most of the time it's off of play action. You're running a post. You're going across the field. But your job is to occupy the safeties and beat the safeties. And Horton can do it. I would say that when you watch MVS run his routes, he's more mature. You see the maturity in his body and his movements, his angles. You watch Horton run routes, you see the explosiveness, but he isn't fully developed yet, but he will be by midseason, 100%. And a lot of times too, man, just because you're not super efficient in your movements doesn't mean you're not going to be able to run by people and catch the football. It's just when I watch film of Horton 5, 6, 7 weeks from now, I guarantee you the arms are going to look different. The body language is going to look different. He's going to look stronger. He can do what MVS can do. MVS has looked a bit more efficient to me, but when you're young, 20-something years of age. You're playing special teams. You just bring more to the table. So, yeah, they're not losing anything, really. They got the same type of player in Horton.
Let's take a broader picture of the wide receiver room as a whole. And I do want to start with kind of the guys who did end up making it behind Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. Jake Bobo, Derek Young, and Cody White all made the 53-man behind those two. It's Cody White's first time making the roster out of camp. He's been cut 8 times by 5 different teams. Posted about that to Instagram the other day, just kind of commenting on his journey and how grateful he is to make the roster. And I immediately was like, these are the stories that are the coolest.
Cody White. I knew it was going to be tough for him to make the roster because I felt like there was a chance they keep MVS. But I'm happy for him. This is a perfect example of your hard work paying off, because there are a lot of times guys ball out in the preseason and they try to put you on the practice squad. And if that wasn't the case for Cody, he showed that he can get work done on special teams. He can catch the football. He can high point that thing. I'm happy for him, man. He's been bounced around. He's bounced around a few times. Like he said, he's been cut a bunch of times. The mental toughness you have to continue to get cut, but keep showing up and keep grinding, man. That's a testament to him. My buddy Jed Collins, one of the last real fullbacks in the NFL, played for 7, 8, 9 teams. Has a wife and kid and all that stuff, but he kept at it. And I used to ask him, how do you keep doing this? He goes, just for the love of the game, man. You just got to be mentally tough. So for Cody to finally get his chance to call his mom, I think he said he tweeted out, I can finally call my mom and tell her I made it. And that's awesome, man. Good on the Seahawks for rewarding what he's done over the past, honestly, year and some change.
Let's stay on offense. You want to go running back group or offensive line? I got news items for both.
Let's go RB.
Okay, let's go running back group. Obviously, running back Damian Martinez was the story there. You drafted him this year. It's not like he was a high pick, but there was a lot of intrigue. It was an especially rich running back class, so you were able to find, as a league, a lot of talent late. Everyone wondered, is Damian Martinez going to be one of those guys where you tap into a ton of talent late just because of the depth of that group? It didn't end up working out. Why?
Damian didn't show enough twitch to me. I think he's the type of runner that is faster the further he gets down the field, right? He's faster after 10 to 12 yards. That's where he gets his kick, his RPMs kick up a little bit. He wasn't seeing the gaps like these other running backs were. He did have a couple good runs. He got a 7-yard run, a 10-yard run, but it didn't look as fluid and as smooth as a George Holani or even a Jacardier Wright. I mean, it was a stuffer. When you're a 7th-round pick, you're essentially an undrafted free agent. You are going to scrape for playing time. You're going to scrape for reps. There's a reason why you're a 7th-round pick. So it's not surprising. I think if you followed him during his college career, then maybe you were more optimistic with what his chances were. I was, because I watched him at Oregon State. I watched him at Miami, and I felt like he was an NFL back. But obviously the evaluation of the league was a bit different than mine. I thought he was maybe a 5th-round pick. But no, 7th-round pick is going to be hard for you, man. Not too many 7th-rounders make the squad. I think we had one last year, James. Was it DJ James? Who do we have? It was a DB. I forgot his name. He came in with Pritchett.
Nehemiah Pritchett and...
What was the other one?
Is it DJ James? God, I'm so mad at myself.
I don't know, text line, tell me, is it DJ James? Anyway, those guys, you knew that they were fighting. One of those dudes did not make the squad. That's just the life of a later round pick athlete.
Okay, I do want to round into talking about the offensive line. First, there were some questions that we all had throughout training camp. Hey, how real is that interest in Dalton Reisner? I'm not entirely sure. Reisner. Is Steven Sims going to make a role for himself on special teams? So we got a lot of answers to those questions via injury settlements that were given to players and players that were waived with injury designations. So John Reese Plumlee and Steven Sims, for instance, went with injury designations or an injury settlement. And Christian Haynes, speaking of the Reisner move, was placed on injured reserve designated for return. So it certainly seems like figuring out some depth behind guard is, I wouldn't say your top priority. I feel intrigued by this group so far, but what's your overall view of the offensive line right now? Knowing who, Anthony Bradford, for instance, is your starting guard. That's been settled.
I'm okay with it. I think there are some things that Anthony Bradford has to get better at. The basic stuff, right? Hand placement, the base, and finishing. I always refer to Big Ray when we talk offensive linemen. And the things he says about Anthony Bradford is that he will show up for 5 snaps and look like an NFL guy. And then for 3 snaps, he will look lost. So hopefully that consistency will pop up. Obviously, I'm always going to listen to what the big homie says over there. As far as the other guys, I feel great about it. I mean, I think it sounds like Sundell will be your starting center. If you're able to beat out Oluwatimi, a guy who has gotten reps last year as a starter at the center spot, and I'm good. Competition. Obviously, you have Zabel over there. Zabel's great in space. Everything I've read and I've watched when it comes to Zabel, people are predicting that he's going to be an eventual Pro Bowler. You got Charles Cross and Abe Lucas. Abe Lucas has looked really good this preseason. I love the way they're using him. They're pulling him sometimes. They'll put a tight end to the right of him. They'll crash down on that DN and pull him and wrap around to try to get the running backs outside. And he looks healthy to me. And I think that's the main thing with Abe is, can you stay healthy? Can you look healthy? Looks like he dropped some weight, put on some mass. I'm okay with this offensive line as it stands. Obviously, Anthony Bradford is going to be the question mark. But if they're willing to roll with him, go ahead and roll with him. And if Reisner comes in and competes for the spot, I'm good. I've been calling for Reisner for months, John Schneider. Why haven't you been listening to me?
Sounds like he was listening.
Man, he just said, I don't want to make Michael right.
Exactly. So he had to leave. It's kind of like when you say, okay, bye to someone, and then they leave. You know what I mean? And you're like, I can't leave right now because I've already said goodbye to them. Right. So that's John Schneider with you. Yeah. You were like Dalton Reisner, and he was like, no, for sure. Yeah. I can't sign him now. Exactly. Or it will look as though you told me. Exactly. So
it's all right,
we
John.
see you, John. We see what's happening. It's incredibly obvious. Let's talk defense. Riley Mills, draft pick, who's been coming back from injury, we all knew would not start the season with this team, and he's not. He's been placed on the reserve NFI list alongside nose tackle Jonathan Hankins, who had been dealing with an injury off and on. I really like this defense. I'm very high on this defense. There are still a couple depth questions, especially in the front seven, where you're wondering, are they going to add a nose tackle? Are they going to add to that defensive line? Are they going to add a linebacker? What do you feel great about? And then what lingering question do you have?
I feel great about the progression of Byron Murphy. I feel great about the OG, Jay Reed. I feel great about Big Cat getting in the mix there. I feel great about DeMarcus Lawrence joining that squad as well. What I don't feel great about, I think you just mentioned it, right? It's just the depth at the nose. You have Brandon P. Lee, who's hurt. You have Quentin Bohannon, who's still on the roster. But you want to see Big Hank, the D lineman with an interception last year. And he's a veteran. He's not a guy who's going to play every snap. Most of these guys on D-line don't play every snap. You need a rotation. That is the one of the luxuries of a defensive line is that you rotate guys in constantly, depending on down and distance and situations. As far as offensive line, you got to have 5 guys in there, or you prefer to have 5 guys in there every single snap. So I'm just concerned about the rotation at the nose tackle as we stand right now. But everywhere else, I feel pretty good about it, man.
Yeah, I do too. I feel really optimistic about this team. There's some depth issues they're probably going to address via waivers, and great, fantastic. That's what happens every single year. You're not going to have a Pro Bowler 1 through 53. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to add some depth. I think overall there were no big surprises. We began the show by talking about MVS probably being the biggest. I think you can see that as a good team. This team on offense has a lot of questions, but we know who's here to answer them. Defensively, they were returning pretty much the exact same defense that finished the league as like a top 10 unit.
Right.
So all of that's good news.
It is, man. That's the defense is what I'm most excited about. The offense obviously is what I'm most skeptical about. But I think that the potential for both can be great. We only saw the starters on offense for a little bit. I understand that. But I saw enough to believe that what Kubiak is preaching will come to light during the regular season. Last year, we were told that a couple of things were going to happen, and there were flashes. It would show up for a little bit, then disappear. And, I'm not in the booth with the OC from last year and his crew, and maybe they felt like they had to adjust their game plan according to what their players were doing on the field and what the defense was presenting to them. But there's a stubbornness that you have to have sometimes as an offensive coordinator, and I think Kubiak will have the perfect amount of stubbornness. Let me warn you guys, though, they're not going to be undefeated. Sam's going to throw interceptions. Running backs are going to fumble, and there will be sacks.
I don't know.
Okay?
I mean, with that attitude.
Just throwing it out there.
I just think that's really negative. I've been watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix, just going, why can't the Seahawks start 92 this way? Who knows? Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
The Mariners lost last night's game to the Padres thanks in part to a Laureano grand slam in the first inning. What's the real headline?
Is the Rock starting to crumble?
Nah.
I don't think so.
San Diego's a good ball club. I mean, they're competing to win their division, whether a game above the Dodgers right now, I believe, or somewhere around there. They're a good ball club. You expect things like this to happen, but it was the fight back, which I liked. You know, these guys didn't just fold and give up, which no professional athlete is going to do, even though some people seem to believe that they do that. But no, it was the fight that I appreciated. Games like this happen. You can still win this series. Are they on the road after this?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Rez is saying yes, because I saw a whole bunch of luggage lined up as I walked into the stadium. I'm like, all right, they must stay in the road after this.
You know what I'll say about that inning? Obviously, it wasn't great. 5 runs off of 3 hits, including that grand slam, and that wasn't wonderful. No one wanted to see it. But then over the next 4, just 2 hits allowed, no runs. So he did settle in. That's really great, and that included some base runners, 3 base runners over that time. So it's a bad start. It didn't leave you feeling great. Overall, the team got right back into it. At one point, took the lead, and Luis Castillo did settle in and not allow any more base runners to score. Those last 2 runs were given up by Ferguson. So, yeah, it wasn't great. I feel okay because I feel okay about a loss. I feel okay about that loss, which is a weird way to talk about it. I feel okay about Castillo, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I feel okay about it. And remember, we talked about it yesterday. The bats are good enough here to keep you in games like this now. So whereas in the past few years you felt like, all right, you get through 1 through 3 and you're done. And also big ups to Suarez, man. You want to see him turning the corner. It feels like he's turning the corner. And yes, you don't accept losses, but you understand them at times. You hit a grand salami, as the big homie Riz says. You probably should win that game. So good on the Padres. We'll get them today though.
Headline Rewrites.
After being released by the Seahawks yesterday, Marquez Valdez-Scantling has signed with the 49ers. What's the real headline?
This is part of the long game to teach the 49ers how to get beat by Torrey Horton in week 1.
Ooh-wee. Talk that talk.
I'm sorry. It was just the joke was right there.
It was right there. You had to take it.
I had to do it.
And this is exactly what I meant. MVS can play. People know that he can play. He's got at least 2 or 3 more of them things in him. And good for him getting into the right situation, because we know the Shanahan offense over there, it's similar to what Kubiak is doing. So he'll be able to fit right in. I believe Ayuk still isn't healthy, right? So you need some help over there. You still have Juwan Jennings. You have Pearsall over there as well. He's going to play. If he can pick up the playbook in the next couple weeks, we will see him week 1 getting some targets.
I did get a question. I'm glad you mentioned the offenses being so similar and Kubiak being from the same tree. The 253 says, does MVS signing with San Francisco help the Niners against Seattle in week 1 in terms of how they might attack or defend the Seahawks?
On paper, it sounds like it. It looks like it. But the coaches aren't bringing MVS and saying, all right, tell us everything you know. Yeah. No, where MVS will help is in
the exact same problem Seattle had.
Yeah, it's in the meetings where he goes, oh, hey, they like this here. Oh, they like it. They're not basing a game plan off of what MVS knows. Will he drop some nuggets? He'll tell you more about personnel? Yeah, I think that's where he comes in handy the most. Just knowing about how to beat Spoon, what Kobe's not good at, those type of things. As far as game plan, they got like 30 coaches on that staff. They're watching hours and hours of film. They'll be fine, but he'll drop some nuggets.
What's next?
Headline Rewrites.
The Cleveland Browns have trimmed their QB room to just 3. Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. What's the real headline?
Shedeur Sanders is just like us. He also has to work with a 40-year-old in his first job out of college. It's like everyone's first job out of college is you become best friends with your 45-year-old coworker. You're just gal pals galling around.
You're going to happy hour. Yeah. Going to Applebee's.
just the odd couple.
Cheap drinks. He's telling you about his wife and kids. You act like you're really interested. That's the life of a young person getting into the corporate world.
What a weird quarterback room for Flacco.
It sure is.
You and 2 rookies.
And 2 new guys.
You are the oldest quarterback or second oldest. I'm not sure if he or Rodgers is old. Behind Rodgers. Yeah. Second oldest quarterback in the league with 2 rookies. What do you even talk about? What do you talk about?
All you have in common is football. That's it. You keep the talk to football. You make some dad jokes here or there. And you let the young guys make fun of you. That's all part of being the old guy in the group. I hang out with some old guys, actually. One of my homies is like 60. The other one is older than that. And me and the other younger guy talk about them all the time. all the time. But then they also get at us, all you children, you this, you that. I go, I'm damn near 40. Okay? I'm not a child, but you old.
I'm a man, and I'm 40.
And I'm 40.
Now maybe I'm being negative, and I don't mean to be. I'm sorry to Browns fans that are listening. There are many. I don't know that Flacco is starting 17 games for this team. Who feels most likely between Shedeur or Dylan to take over successfully? Or neither. I mean, they're both rookies, and they both have a lot of question marks, or they would have been taken in the first round of a bad quarterback draft.
I think any quarterback that suits up for the Browns is going to struggle, simply because of everything else that surrounds this organization. It comes down to personnel, leadership, all of that. So, no, I expect Flacco. And Flacco's 40, man. I step off the curb the wrong way right now, I might twist the ankle and be out for a couple days.
Never forget that Curtis tore his Achilles crossing the street.
Just crossing the street.
Crossing the street.
He ain't even 40.
My sister broke her ankle taking out the trash.
Crazy.
It's just, I should be so blessed. It hasn't happened to me yet. But one of these days, I'm going to be just, walking over to drain some pasta noodles in the sink. and I will trip and break an arm, and I'll be like, it's happening. I need a life alert button.
Life alert.
It's crazy. I forgot that I already did fall up the stairs, and you guys all made fun of me. So that already did happen.
Falling up the stairs is something special.
Well, because I had socks on.
Were you running? Was it a little jog?
You know what? No, I don't know why I said up. I was going down the stairs. I was going down the stairs, and I had socks on, and the stairs are carpeted, so you can see what happened here. I just slipped. It's very slippery. No traction whatsoever.
Okay.
And I hit my back, and I had to call in and say that I was going to be late.
Hey, you still showed up.
Exactly.
Still showed up.
Exactly, because me and all of these Seahawks who just made the roster, we're hard workers.
Hard workers.
We don't quit. We got that dog in us.
Yeah, you and Ty Okada.
We're both the same. We're equally athletic, for instance, and fortunate enough to be here today.
Yep.
I think we can all say that.
Well, that's up.
Okay, so still to come. Get Off My Lawn at 10:45. Really excited for that one. It's otherwise pretty heavy with Mariners today, obviously. We're live at T-Mobile Park ahead of a matinee series finale against the Padres. Coming up next, who is the biggest, the baddest team right now in the American League? I think the answer will surprise you.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. This afternoon, it's the series finale against the Padres. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon.
The 50 home run club.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Recovery is deeply personal and can look different for everyone. Recovery takes more than persistence and resilience. It takes support. It's normal to go at your own pace and to lean on others during your journey. Research shows that individuals with substance use conditions typically make multiple attempts at recovery before achieving long-term sobriety, and those who continue to engage in treatment and support services, even after relapses, are more likely to achieve sustained recovery. Get help navigating your recovery journey, no matter where you are. Every step you take to navigate substance use and mental health challenges can help you reach your recovery goals. Peer and online support communities can offer a sense of connection, belonging, and shared understanding. Finding community support is a powerful, proven way to help support long-term recovery. Get connected to SAMHSA resources and create a plan that works for you by visiting samhsa.gov/recoverme.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Between his hobbies and decades of work in a boatyard, Philip had put his body through a lot.
I'm an avid fly fisherman and an avid skier. It takes its toll.
Not to mention one other thing.
I had a near-fatal motorcycle accident. Absolutely obliterated my lower left leg again.
Philip couldn't live with the pain anymore, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Listening to all these radio spots, I said, what do I got to lose?
What was your experience like with Dr. Wagner?
What I was so impressed with Mark about is that how often you have a surgery like this, and the guy calls you the next day to see how you're doing. I can't say enough good things about the guy, honestly.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no pain, none. Zero.
Wow. So would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I'm a fan, believe me. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Who's the best team in the American League right now? A team you would not want to face. You get into the playoffs, should you be so blessed. A team you absolutely don't want to face. And pretend you aren't the Mariners. Would the Mariners be a possible answer? I know that sounds kind of crazy, but yesterday, Bump, we got a question from a listener, or rather I would say like a statement, not really a question. They said, I just feel like this team, it's fun, but I'm afraid to believe because I feel like this team can't hang with the big dogs. And yeah, we're coming off a horrible road trip where you struggled against the Mets and really struggled against the Phillies. Phillies definitely one of those big dogs, so I get it. But in the American League, is there a big bad? I don't think there's a big bad guy in the American League right now. Do you?
It used to be the Tigers,
Yeah.
right? The Tigers, had a stretch during the season where they looked untouchable. The Blue Jays had that stretch as well. The Red Sox have been weird, ups and downs, smiles and frowns. Astros, they're gettable. And then the Yankees are just the Yankees, and they don't look like the championship team that they used to be. No, I look at all those teams that are ahead of the Mariners, and I don't think there's anyone who can't get this smoke. And the reason why I think that is because I feel like, I know that sports is about timing, right? Guys got to be healthy at the right time. Guys got to be executing at the right time. And I feel like the timing of this team coming together is starting to work for you. I wish, or I hope that we knew about the Robles situation already so we can get that over with. But I'm glad that he's back. I feel like Logan is turning a corner. I feel like Kirby's doing the same thing. Castillo is going to be that kind of gray area type of pitcher, but we know that he has the capabilities of just going nuts. But I'm looking at the bats. Suarez is looking like he's turning a corner. Julio's been playing well. Cal is the MVP of the league, and they're getting a whole bunch of support. Granted, I don't follow and watch every other team like I do the Mariners, but I don't see the Mariners falling off around this time the way they used to back in the day, simply because of just the execution, man. Like there's enough firepower to where I feel like every time they're on the diamond, they got a shot. There have been years where I felt like we stood no chance.
I feel like the Star Spangled Banner being rehearsed while we're talking about the Mariners is a sign that, like, America is behind the Mariners. You know what I mean? Let's take a listen to what Gary Hill said. This is cut one, what Gary said yesterday to us when we asked him.
All these teams are good. There's not a team in the American League to me that's like, oh, no. You got to play out of your minds to win a 5-game series or 7-game series. I just don't think that exists in the American League. I think the American League is wide open. And I think you can make a case for a number of different teams to go to the World Series from the American League. And I definitely think one of those teams is the Seattle Mariners. I think you stack them up against the Tigers or the Astros or the Yankees or the Red Sox, all the teams that we're looking at, they're going to make the playoffs. I think the Mariners hold their own.
253 says Blue Jays. Yeah, I think there are teams that I look around and I go, man, I'd be nervous about once again facing the Yankees. I'd be nervous about once again facing the Tigers, and that's knowing that Yankees fans are currently livid with their team, and that the Mariners have swept the Tigers earlier this year, handing them just their second sweep this season. But I don't know, man. I was looking back at some of these stats. The Mariners are second in the American League in home runs, walks, and stolen bases. I know earlier you were looking at a couple of things. In ERA, they're just like middle of the road, but they're better than the Blue Jays. You know what I mean? There are a couple teams that you think, yeah, that team, like my gut tells me they're better. But then when you look up the actual numbers, are they? They're pretty comparable.
Yeah. And that's what keeps us in the mix. This is the perfect year for the Mariners to change the way they're viewed across the league. Like, what does a good run do for this team? It builds confidence within the organization, and it also makes them more attractive during the offseason, because that's the next step for me when it comes to this team. Obviously, make the playoffs, go on a run, World Series, I get that. But when you're trying to build something great, is you got to be attractive. You got to be attractive before it hits 130 in its last call. You got to be attractive when the lights are on, the bar is still a restaurant before they make that transition, and everyone's still looking at you like, I want to go there. I want to be a part of that. So, that's the mission for this group this year. Yes, it is to win, but you got to take these steps. And this year is a perfect year to take a bigger step because of what's going on around you. But I also think that if it were a year where you had more competition or our teams were playing better, you still have a roster that can hang with these guys. It's not elite of the elite, but you're not a third-tier team anymore. I think you're a high second-tier team at this point, because they're only the top tier, there's only like 2 or 3 teams in that tier.
It's like Phillies, Dodgers. Yeah.
And throw someone else in there.
I totally get it. The Brewers right now, and I totally agree. I think if you were to strip away the logo and you were just showed, let's say you were shown a lineup, and you see that 6 players in that lineup have 20 or more home runs, and that one of those players, 2 of those players have 40 plus, and one of those players has 50. Yeah. You're going, oh my God, this team has a lot of slug.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if you take away, I think that it incredibly normal for a Mariners fan to go, oh, God, I'm afraid to believe. I'm afraid to, like, buy into this, that something's going to go wrong. And, you know, frankly, like, there are real flaws. Caleb Ferguson gave up the go-ahead run yesterday, the tying run yesterday. It didn't feel great. I don't feel solid about the bullpen. I like the high-leverage arms a lot. I don't feel solid about the bullpen as a whole. The Astros right now have the lowest run differential of any American League division leader. If the Mariners overtook them, they'd have the lowest. Theirs is higher than the Astros. But, like, yeah, there are real flaws that you can look at with some inconsistent pitching and all of that. But if you took away the Mariners logo and you took away that feeling of the rug being swept out from under you, you'd look at the roster and you'd go, oh, they're second in strikeouts post All-Star break for pitchers. They've got a guy with 50 home runs. They've got another guy with 40. They've got 6 guys with 20 or more. You're feeling completely differently about this team.
They have some championship-type team characteristics, but they still have the stench of the past, right, that they've developed over here over the past 20-plus years, minus a couple of years. It's almost like when a teenager figures out that he stinks, and he puts on cologne, and he forgets, like, man, you still got to get in the shower and wash up, dude. This is for the boys who be out there stinking these football players, right? They're trying to figure it out. Like, look, I smell good, but there's still this little stench on me.
You can't mask it.
Yeah, you can't mask all of it. And that's where they are right now. But I think they're closer to just smelling good, rather than just masking up the stench.
Someone said it reminds me of the 2012 Hawks. I don't know about that. I don't love making that kind of comparison in general. I get what you're saying, though, where it feels like there's a lot of talent that other people haven't yet recognized, and you're at the beginning of what could be a cool run. I completely see what you're saying there. Mm-hmm. I think that it is, so long as they keep pursuing it and aggressively adding, most especially when it comes to their bullpen. So maybe you look at some moves that you want to make in the offseason. Maybe you look at, likewise, approaching the trade deadline just as aggressively next year, with a lesson learned that, like, it is worth being overly aggressive to add a bullpen arm. Like, yeah. I so badly wish they would have added another. Maybe they couldn't. Like, maybe they offered really, really good deals and teams just didn't want their guys. Their farm system's so great, I have a hard time thinking so. That being said, I will not critique what was a really good deadline, because instead, what I want to say is that I think that if we look at the actual numbers the Mariners are putting up, you can feel really good about this team matching up with any team they would face in the playoffs. They don't have to beat the Phillies to get to a World Series. They don't have to beat the Dodgers to get to a World Series. Can you beat the Yankees? Can you beat the Tigers? Can you beat the Blue Jays? Can you beat the Astros? I think you can. Yeah,
I think you can. You got to take care of your neighborhood first, man. And I think the neighborhood is looking very gettable right now. You could be the new HOA president in the AOS. That's all you got to worry about right now. Take your little baby steps, and then you grow from there. They're a team that gives you a chance every night. And even on the nights where they give up 21 hits and it looks all bad, that is going to happen in sports sometimes. It's just not your day. But they've been competitive more than not. And I think that's all you can ask for, because if you can hang around, this is the type of team. I'm not talking about hanging around 1-0. I'm talking about hanging around 3-4, 4-2 or whatnot, because you're capable. Yesterday, you go down. Grand slam hit on you. You go down.
Yep.
That team of the past is probably going to crumble, and there's no chance. But they go down, and I'm still looking at the lineup and saying there's some pop right there. There's some pop there. You can get this done. So be competitive. That's what they are.
Last point about pitching. Someone said, as a longtime Mariners fan, I would feel more confident if our starting rotation was somewhere between their performance last year and their performance this year, which I totally agree with. Somewhere, like, they don't have to be the #1 ERA like they were last year, but could they be better than 15th? Could they be better than 16th? Like, I get what this person's saying. I do think you've seen, first of all, a phenomenal year from Brian Wu. You saw Logan's, as you mentioned, his best outing as his last outing with 13 strikeouts. It's kind of like with every bit of concern, there's another thing I like. My biggest concern overall is pitching, but I like what I saw from Logan in his last outing. My biggest concern, like, I have a concern about the bullpen, but I like Brash and Munoz and Inspire. So there's a bit of give and take. It kind of like evens out with feeling like unsure.
Everything shrinks in the playoffs. The people you're going to use, all right, that depth, it shrinks in the playoffs. And if you can just get there, I think this team is better as that roster starts to shrink and you stop going to all these other arms.
All right. We are going to get right back to the Mariners coming up at 11 with Jordan Shusterman. Before then, it's time for Get Off My Lawn.
Look out, Junior. you've got company.
Number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. This afternoon, it's the series finale against the Padres. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon.
The 50 home run club.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. This is what I want you to do when you have some time. Get on I-5, go north, get off exit 260, and you will find Silver Reef Casino. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, and get your mind right. I've done it. It works. The rooms are comfortable. They're spacious. They got free Wi-Fi, and they have tablets there as well. They also have some restaurants downstairs. Go to the steakhouse or the cantina if you want some real Mexican food. And when it's time to watch the game, Porter's Bay Sports Bar is there for you. The drinks are cold. The TV is everywhere. The service is great. And my golfers, Loomis Trails Golf Course is there for you as well. 18 holes with water almost everywhere. I hope your driver's working. Hit the fairway. Also, this month, every Saturday, you can win up to $10,000 with a grand prize of $50,000 at the end of the month. They also have events coming up. To see that, you book your tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino Resort. It's not a secret anymore.
Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, get a 20% inflation discount and enjoy easy 18-month free financing with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
Was drafted in 1999 by the Philadelphia 76ers, and that was just absolutely a dream come true.
Todd's playing in the NBA is unique. His battle with neuropathy is not.
I first started noticing problems a couple years into my NBA career, and I felt like my sock was just balled up right in the arch of my foot, and there'd be areas of burning and tingling, and then there'd be other areas of deadness where there would be no response to touch. We tried everything possible, from surgery to different drugs, to try and take care of some of the symptoms.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, non-drug, pain-free procedures that have helped thousands of neuropathy sufferers find relief.
Now I'm able to spend more time doing the things that I enjoy, being on my feet.
If you experience numbness, shooting, or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours. The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, gentle yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees. Plus, you'll get priority access to our postseason presale.
Game winner, walk-off fashion in the ninth inning.
Come on board today at Mariners.com/homestretch.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump and I are live at T-Mobile, and we are getting back to the Mariners with Jordan Shusterman joining us at 11 right now, though. Bump's got to tell us 3 things grinding his gears for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, who's got you yelling today?
I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm 40.
Yeah. Technology does. Technology.
You're very on brand for your first one so far.
Technology. Now, listen, I love when, typically during the preseason, when the Hawks play and the Mariners play at the same time, right? There's events going on. There's events going on. And it's great for the fan because they get to watch the Mariners game. That game ends. They walk over to Lumen over there, and they watch that game. We put people on the moon, right?
Well, I don't know.
We got, I mean, you know.
I think so.
If you
I
ask
think
Matthew,
we did.
we have.
I think we did.
We got, you know, rovers,
self-driving
on Mars
cars
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we got
Hold the phone.
satellites out there and all that stuff.
Robots doing things.
I've got to interrupt. Bump, did we land on the moon?
It's you know, tomato. It's
Michael
all
Bumpus.
It's all perspective.
I'm going to have to push you on this.
Matt, I need you to know this also fits the segment, though.
This is my segment, okay? I'm going to need you to wait until after for further questions, Matthew, okay?
Oh, my God.
So, we've done all this stuff as a human race, right? Human race. Why can't GPS tell me that the games are going to be going on at the same time and to not go the back way towards 99 and to go off I-5 so I'm not late for my show? I had to park half a mile away from the stadium and walk because I was going to be late. It took me 2 hours to get here from Linwood. To here, not today.
Oh, okay.
During the preseason game where the Mariners were playing and the Hawks were playing, and I'm looking at GPS. Why wouldn't you just tell me there's a faster way to go? I'm relying on you. You got the cops in the middle, kind of coordinating the traffic. I'm looking at them. I show my badge like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Show them
I
your
gotta
press
go.
badge.
Like, come on, man. I gotta get to the show. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You gotta go around. And it reroutes me all the way around. So I got closer to Hatback and had to roll the dice and park in that parking lot. So now I'm sitting there at the game. And it's a late game, so I don't get out of there till like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I'm praying my truck is still sitting there. So I get a ride from Big Ray, and from B-Wald, actually, and my truck is still sitting there. I'm just saying, man, like, can we have better communication and coordination? Because y'all almost made me late. 2 hours for me to get from Linwood to here. It's ridiculous.
The maps did not tell you.
No.
Google was not on your side.
Nobody was rocking with me that day.
Apple was not on your side.
Not on my side.
I'm sorry.
Not at all.
I'm sorry that happened.
And Matthew, we might have landed on the moon, okay? We might have.
I think we landed on the moon.
All right.
Why might?
Prove
Why
it.
might? Why?
What's next?
Prove it. Because the
You
government
proved
be
it.
lying.
Next
Government
one.
be
next,
lying.
Next.
You believe anything they tell you, huh?
Ian?
Next up, where is it? Hey, low-hanging fruit, man. Don't take the low-hanging fruit sometimes, man. It's not worth it. Now, look, we know the WNBA players are saying we want more pay, and they rejected an offer that would have gave a base salary of like $250,000, and then veterans would have gotten like $1 million a year, right? And they rejected it. And there was one day where they all came out and said, we want NBA money. Ladies, you will not get NBA money because revenue isn't coming in like that. But then Draymond Green, stay off of Twitter. Draymond Green says, do a 360 windmill dunk. You didn't need to say that, Draymond. You did not need to say that. These women are fighting for their rights. They want to get paid more money. They're not going to get NBA money because it's business. They're already operating in the red. The NBA supports the WNBA. If they didn't, then the league wouldn't be there. Everyone, or if you do a little bit of research, you understand that. But guys like Draymond and all these guys with these bigger platforms don't take the low-hanging fruit when it comes to this. If anything, you support them, but you do it realistically, right? You're not going to get Caitlin Clark is not going to get a Supermax contract for $350 million. No, because this revenue doesn't work like that for the WNBA. But I also think it's important that if you don't have nothing nice to say in this situation, just don't say anything.
Also, how does that help anyone at all? It doesn't help athletes. It doesn't, like, there are plenty of young women that are massive fans of the NBA too that are going, man, this guy doesn't think that I'm worth watching as an athlete. It's
guys like him have a bigger responsibility to just quiet sometimes and just let it sort itself out. So I saw that and I was disappointed. I know Draymond says what's on his mind, and that's fine. But there are times where I'm sitting in a group of friends and one of my boys is completely wrong or it sounds silly to me. And I just don't say nothing. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to holler at him on the side because I don't want to blast him in front of the group right now and make him feel some kind of way. So I was disappointed for Draymond. You didn't have to. You know dang well she can't do no 360 windmill dunk. But you know what? There's this young lady in France who was very close to doing stuff like that. I believe she got drafted this past draft. I forgot her name.
Well, also, like, what point are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
What genuinely, like, the point should be, hey, like, participation in sports is really, really good for every single person. There are, like, numerous benefits, too many to list here, and you should be encouraging young women to participate in sports, and the WNBA is a really, really cool thing that influences that. End of discussion.
Draymond, come on, man.
What's next?
Last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Oh, man, people who exaggerate situations really make me feel some kind of way.
Okay.
Like, say you were working with somebody and they got really quiet and they're like, oh my God. And you're like, oh my God, who died?
Wow.
And then that person proceeds to announce that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. I'm thinking someone's hurt. I'm thinking someone's hurt. Someone passed away. The Stacy needs to leave. And she's so dramatic.
That was the biggest
exaggerates
news worldwide
so much that when your heart like burns because you think something bad's gonna happen. That's where I was on air, and you did that to me.
Well, watch your cholesterol.
At the tender age of 39, almost 40, I don't know if I can handle too much of that. So yeah, Stacy, I need you to never do that again.
I already apologized. I already apologized to you and to the listeners. I watched it back and I thought, okay, sure, I can see.
You watched the film?
I watched the film.
Okay.
I did watch the tape. I can see how it may have seemed like I was going to announce the Seahawks traded for Micah or that someone had died. However, was I wrong in letting you know the single biggest news story of the day?
You're not wrong. It's the way
that was
you did
the
it.
single
It's just
biggest
the way you
news
did
story
it.
of the day. I felt that a story that would be circulated worldwide required that kind of pause and that kind of attention. And frankly, you guys are welcome for that matter.
Like we would have never found that out.
Listen, I guarantee you.
I would have picked up my phone.
I guarantee you that someone learned about this from me breaking the news to you, and then you were able to feel the rush of breaking that news to someone else. And I bet some of you even broke it to your wives or girlfriends, and you were the one to tell them, and you felt like the coolest person in the world for knowing that first.
So people should thank you.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm glad that we've come back. I've done a one. Yes. Now people should thank me. I take back my apology. You're all welcome. This has been Get Off My Lawn.
I already said tap, no takebacks.
Someone said, Bump, isn't your co-host a person who exaggerates a lot? I don't think so. I don't. We have a lot of questions about the Mariners, so perfect timing. Jordan Shusterman's joining us next. Don't go anywhere.
Wyman and Bob.
We got Gray Zabel, rookie guard.
Every afternoon at 2.
Our texters that text into the show will give you, some restaurant advice. Which way should they direct you?
Man, the simple thing is just you run the damn ball with like a steak and potato type restaurant.
I would certainly start with El Gaucho.
That's my favorite. Yeah. I'm getting cultured by my left tackle, Charles Cross. So I just tried sushi for the first time like a week ago. That was all right.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the middle circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Kyle Hamilton and the Baltimore Ravens have reached agreement today on a 4-year, $100.4 million extension, setting a new record for any safety in the NFL. That's $25.1 million per year. According to Adam Schefter, the NFL is aiming for at least a 6-game suspension for Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Finally, a day after being released by the Seahawks, wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling has signed with the 49ers.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Talking Mariners with Jordan Shusterman joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Jordan, how's it going?
Hey, guys. Happy Wednesday. Always a pleasure to see you.
We're happy to have you here. We're literally watching the Mariners in BP right now. Well, technically doing some fielding work, but I feel like I'm talking like I should lower my voice. Like I'm asking you questions about them, and they're right there. It feels rude, but I'm just going to do it. This is a positive one, though. Yesterday, we were talking about, well, who's the big bad guy in the American League? Because we had someone text in and say, God, I'm just so nervous that if the Mariners make the playoffs, they can't hang with the big guys. And I was thinking, but who is that right now? Like, sure, I don't ever want to see the Phillies again, frankly. I hope I forget they exist. But I can't think of a team in the American League where I can't make a case for the Mariners. It'll be tough, but where I can't make a case. What do you think?
No, I think that's totally fair. I think that kind of goes with the theme we've kind of been talking about all season, why I think the team was willing to be aggressive at the deadline and why I think that they still do stack up with any of these teams, because they are all flawed. When you catch them at their best, they look pretty good, but pretty much all of these teams, honestly, with the exception of Toronto, I mean, Toronto's had some low points, but I feel like they haven't had as many extended lulls the way that obviously the Yankees have, obviously the Red Sox have. The Tigers were really looking rough there in July. They've started to really heat back up. Yeah. And then Houston has, of course, done enough to stay on top, but we certainly haven't seen them really at their best, but that's mostly due to injuries. So I think you have to say that again, at their best, they should be able to hang with them. And to your point, listen, if the Mariners play the Phillies in the postseason, I'm not sure you're going to be complaining.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What do you see from Castillo? There's a lot of people who text in. They say they're concerned. Me personally, Jordan, I always give him the veteran benefit of the doubts. Like he'll be fine if he's called upon. What are you seeing from him, and do you feel like he is the weakest link when you look at this rotation?
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways, right? Because on one hand, you say, all right, give him the benefit of the doubt. Look what he's accomplished. On the other hand, it's like, come on, dude, you should be better than this. You should be more consistent than what you've shown. And it sometimes have been frustrating that his bad outings, man, like he's been getting rocked. That said, I do think that, like, once they get to the postseason, this is going to be so interesting, if they get there and they're able to line up their pitching in some way. I mean, we'll see to the degree what that means, but I think for most people who maybe aren't watching the Mariners all the time, do think about what Castillo did in the postseason last time and think about what he has been capable of in some pretty big games, and that's a pretty damn good pitcher. So we know that's still in there, but I will say that he's had more moments this season that I think have been frustrating than even compared to last year, which was also kind of up and down.
Feel free to take your time with this answer since it's got a couple parts here, but we are going to start to have conversations about, like, hey, do the Mariners have the pieces to make a deep playoff run if they're fortunate enough to make it, right? Look, we're not going to take any playoff appearance, like you joked about, for granted here in Seattle. So that being said, we can accept flaws, but you're going to start to try to think of, like, well, do they have the pieces? So I was actually going to ask you the question so that hopefully we can use it as a bit of a guide as we continue this conversation over the next month. If you have to choose 3 things that are like, this is the essential recipe. It could be a specific stat. It could be star power. It could be like slugging and strikeouts. But if you just have to choose 3 things where you were like, if a team can get these 3 things and ace these 3 things, that'll give them the best shot to find postseason success? What would those 3 things be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you mean specifically for the Mariners or just any team.
Any
and,
team.
What is the any team? Sure, yeah. So I think that again, we've kind of alluded to this with Seattle, but if your starters are able to go deeper, you can line with the off days and the way that the postseason is scheduled. Now I know they crammed it. We have a new round and whatnot. Being able to have your top relievers available as often as possible just goes such a long way. And a lot of that comes on not just how often you're using them, but how deep the starters are going in. And ultimately, if your offense can give you leads that you can afford to maybe rest some guys here or there, depending on how the stuff shakes out. Now, that said, I think that it's not just about starting pitching, of course, has a lot of weight and being able to score, but the small things, which we haven't talked about as much, but I know the base running was a big trend early on in the season, but sometimes just being able to steal a base and get into scoring position when you don't necessarily need to get another hit or another base runner, that can go a long way. And that's one thing that you look at this roster. This is where I think Julio and Randy in particular, they could come up in a huge way from a base running standpoint, because just extra 90s in the postseason just means so much. So I think that goes a long way as well. And then, of course, defensively, which I think we've seen the defensive identity of this club kind of evolve over the years, and even over this season, just with some of the acquisitions. Obviously, Ben Williamson, the rookie, really standing out. And Suarez, I think some people thought that would be a step back. For the most part, I think he's been pretty good since he got over there. We know he's been hitting as well. So we can't forget about those elements of the game. And now Robles, I know his situation is complicated right now. What he adds to maybe the outfield defense could also kind of go a long way.
I'm already looking towards the offseason. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it already.
You're a Dodgers fan. It's just part of you.
How does this team get better? Because I'm looking at just the lineup today, and I say, all right, who's expendable here? Like, who's a guy that I'm just like, all right, well, if he's not here, then I'm not too worried about it. But I've become emotionally attached to all these guys. Like, how does this team get better in the offseason? And is there anything they could do? Like, does a playoff run make them more attractive? Because that's kind of been my thing. It's like, get to the playoffs, make a run. Maybe free agents want to come here. I know I just asked a lot. Just give me whatever you got out of that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, especially when they acquired 2 rentals, one of which was already very familiar in Gino. But even with Naylor, I understand fans' inclinations to just want to extend. Like, they hit a big home run, you just say extend him right now. I mean, you're even seeing this with Randy. You're seeing this with all these guys. I see people say we need to extend Cal Raleigh again. I mean, we have even here get him there long enough. So I get that. I get that you want these guys. You want to hang on to them as long as possible. But I also know that over the next month, hopefully plus, if you're a Mariners fan, that your opinion about those players is going to change over and over and over as these things happen. And so what I would say is enjoy what this team looks like right now. I'm also fascinated in this offseason, as I'm fascinated with any Mariners offseason. But I think that this offensive group that they've put together is really special. And I know last night was a disappointing end result, but I can't remember the last time I watched a Mariners team that would go down 5-0 and I'd be like, oh yeah, they could probably come back. I mean, that is such an unfamiliar feeling. And that's what happened. I know they ended up losing, but that just says a lot about where this offensive group is. And I think you just got to appreciate it in the moment and deal with it in the offseason when it comes.
It's a really good point, Jordan. Bump was talking about some of those intangibles just earlier in the show about how encouraging it was to see them give up a grand slam in the first and then still get into it. And you said the same thing, Bump, where you were like, it's those things that feel different. So I know it's natural for fans to go, oh, the ERA isn't what it was. I get it. It's a bummer. I know that you wish you would have added another high leverage arm at the deadline. I get it. It's a bummer. But there are these intangible things that do feel different about this club. And one of them feels like confidence. How much of that is being impacted by the fact that one of you guys has 50 home runs? There is a feeling, I'm sure, Jordan, of well, this guy can get it. You never know when he could get it done.
Well, and we've talked about Cal basically every week this season, as deservedly so. But one part about that I don't think has fully been discussed in the context of a game like that. And while I stand by the point that I just made, which is because you look at this offense and the confidence and the intangibles are part of it, but let's be real. We're just looking at 9 pretty good hitters. I mean, all of those guys in the lineup have had stretches where they look like really good hitters. But back to Cal, this is the other thing about the season that he's having, and especially now as he's, breaking all these records. They could be down by 25. I don't care. I'm tuning in to watch Cal Raleigh's at-bats because he is literally making history every time he hits the ball over the fence. And so you can't turn away. You have to wonder what's going to happen, even if the Mariners don't end up winning in that specific game. It's incredible. And so that's what Cal Raleigh has done for. I mean, you could say this has been true for most of the season, but especially over the last month. You basically have to tune in because you are watching something historic, regardless of what the score is.
We've harped on kind of just the condition or the status of the AL. There's no real big dogs or someone who's dominant out there, but who's playing the best baseball over the past week or so in AL?
Yeah, I mentioned the Tigers. It seems like they've really started to kind of get their swagger back. I think the Blue Jays and now adding Shane Bieber, really excited to see the Blue Jays and Brewers face off this weekend. I think that's probably the marquee matchup. Now, I say that the Mariners are literally going to be here in Cleveland, and I will be at all three of those games. But putting that aside, I think among the other series, I think Brewers Blue Jays is such a fun stories of interleague matchups of two teams that have been really the two of the most consistent all year. But I really do want to harp on Detroit because let's not forget how really dominant they looked in all phases over the first few months. Really ugly skid in the middle of the season, but it seems like they're starting to find their confidence again. And there are flaws with that roster too, but after watching them up close in the postseason last year, I do feel like that experience is going to help a lot of that roster. And that is not a team I would want to mess with in the postseason. And obviously, Tarek Skubal is a big part of that, but that's a pretty good team.
Houston is very fairly and has very fairly earned the benefit of the doubt for me, where the Mariners could be 3 up and I'd be like, oh God, I'm just so nervous. So that being said, I also recognize that they aren't the team of years past. What are you seeing from them, most especially maybe over the last month or so?
Yeah, again, their personnel has changed so often, almost on a week-to-week basis because of their injuries, that it's kind of hard to judge them. That said, I mean, not to get too narrow here, but Yordan Alvarez is just so important and so interesting. And if we're just making a list of the most intriguing, fascinating, players I'm most curious to just see over this next month, and of course into October, he's near the top of the list. I mean, this is one of the best hitters in the world. I don't have to remind people in Seattle about that, but truly, I mean, him getting back in the lineup is a huge deal for them. But also, what does that mean? Is he what he was before? Because he wasn't exactly tearing the cover off the ball before he did go on the injured list for a lengthy stint with the hand injury. So what does he look like by the time October comes around? Because he is one of those few hitters that could just single-handedly change the entire complexion of the lineup and the way that you have to attack them. I know we're still getting used to Carlos Correa being there again, and there's some other new characters, and Pena's now back, and they have other good players for sure, but Yordan is just such a big part of what they do, and it'll be interesting to see if he could be a part of that. Again, already draw two walks last night. I know they lost to the Rockies, but just a reminder of kind of the presence that he has is it's a short list of hitters that are like that.
What do you make of the Robles situation? Obviously, he's facing a 10-game suspension. It's taking him forever to get the committee together to figure this out. How many games do you think it can get reduced to? And when do you think a decision will be made?
Again, this is one of the stranger situations I can remember following for so many of the reasons, not just the original incident, but also the repercussions on the roster and the timing with the call-ups and the decision to activate him under appeal. And what is taking so long? I really don't understand what this process is or why this is taking a while. And I have to imagine the Mariners are probably both kind of bittersweet, frustrated that it hasn't been resolved, but also all right, hey, Victor's around. We get to use him. We get to play him in this game. We're going to see him get some hits and play some defense. So at some point, they're going to have to decide. I would like to think that it will get reduced to some degree, but I still expect it to be at least a week's worth of games. And they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with that because, again, and also you want to get that over with as soon as possible so that you can get Victor as many reps going down the stretch. So it's good to see him back in there. I mean, he's just such a fun player to watch. And that alone, I think, again, now he's, a bottom of the lineup. He's not necessarily someone you're going to see at the top the way he was, earlier in his Mariners tenure. But what a fun player just to have him back. I do expect he will miss a significant amount of time here at some point soon, but I don't know when. This process is bizarre.
The Mariners are coming off just a road trip from hell. It was absolutely awful. They're getting ready for another road trip. You will be at those 3 Guardians games, and then obviously they're going to take on the Rays and the Braves before heading back home for a series opener against the Cardinals. I'm hoping for a better stretch of play against these teams compared to the road trip Seattle just had. What can you tell us about, we'll just start with the Guardians. We won't need to go through all of them, but maybe a refresher on what you've seen from Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's kind of going through it right now. I mean, it's been an absolutely bizarre season here for so many reasons. Coming off an ALCS appearance, you have a very strange offseason where you kind of ship out some familiar pieces and you acquire a pitcher in Luis Ortiz who ends up on the restricted list alongside your on track for the Hall of Fame closer. So there's some things you can criticize Cleveland for in terms of how they've, put together their roster and where their offense is at right now, other than Jose Ramirez. But also they've had some pretty rotten luck off the field as well, and that's put them in kind of a weird spot. They're a very coherent and cohesive organization to where they're never really going to bottom out, and that's why they still kind of hover around 500. But all the underlying metrics say that this just isn't that good of a team, and I think that especially offensively, this will be an interesting test for Seattle in terms of, again, the pitching, how it's traveled. This is an offense that the Mariners pitching staff should be able to handle. If that is still an issue for them, Tampa and Atlanta will be a little bit of a different story because of the personnel that they have in the ballparks that you're playing in. But Cleveland's an offense, you would like to see Seattle's pitchers be able to handle them and continue their momentum offensively as well.
He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. Thanks so much, Jordan. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Jordan.
See you guys.
See ya. All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Well, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is out of Seattle and on to San Francisco. How do you think MVS will fit in the Niners offense?
He will fit perfectly in that offense. Right now, he's the 3rd best active receiver they have. If you look at ESPN, their depth chart, you got Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, you have Jacob Cowing from Arizona. Caught 4 catches for 80 yards last year. Behind these guys, you have MVS, Sky Moore, who came over from the Chiefs, and you have Jordan Watkins. Right now, MVS is the 3rd best receiver. We'll see what happens when Brandon Ayuk gets healthy, but he's going to fit perfectly. He's going to run across the field diagonally at a 45-degree angle. He's going to run the post. He's going to run the backside screens. He's going to run the shallows. He's going to be ready to go. If he can pick up this offense fairly quickly, I see him making some plays against the Seahawks. He's going to be that 3rd receiver. I think Jacob Cowing at the University of Arizona is a good ball player. Didn't do much last year, but MVS is ready. He might be the 2nd best receiver, depending on what we get from Ricky Pearsall, who I think has a higher ceiling, but obviously coming into his 2nd year, he's got some things he needs to work on. But no, this is a perfect situation for MVS, an offense he knows, not too many young guys in front of him, and he was wanted. So I'm happy for him. I'm just mad we got to see him week 1.
I was going to say it's going to be really interesting to have that reunion so quickly. It's not like an MVS revenge game, but you're going to see MVS again, and then in week 2 you see DK.
Yep.
Second down. What was the biggest surprise when it came to the Seahawks roster?
There were a couple, but for me the biggest one was Ty Okada. I know he made that great play in the last preseason game, but he's a bit undersized and didn't have like that twitch. But obviously he bounced back. There was the week before. Who played the week before? Was it the Raiders? Then
Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah. So the week before, he's taking horrible angles. He's bouncing off of tackles. And I'm talking to Paul Maury, who played safety in the league for a while.
Sorry.
Chiefs, sorry.
I lied.
All right, there you go.
I told you the wrong one. That's my fault.
Blindly following your lead.
I know.
He's bouncing off of tackles. It just didn't look good. And I thought that he was going to be a guy that you try to sneak onto the practice squad. I thought Jared Reed would be the guy that they keep because of what he did on special teams or what he's done on special teams. And just the type of player that he was. But they looked at Okada, and there was something in his game that he loved. He's obviously a big playmaker. That one-handed interception was crazy. But I was surprised. I thought Jared Reed III was a lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at one point he was leading the NFL in tackles when it came to special teams before he got hurt. But, yeah, they saw something in Ty. I'm happy for Ty. I ain't hating at all. You go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah.
But I thought Jared Reed was going to be the guy.
3rd down. What's an example of hard work pays off?
Cody White, man. Come on, Cody.
Man.
Cody's been cut 7-8 times. And he's done this song and dance so many times. I could imagine he gets called up to the GM's office, and he's sitting there thinking, here we go again. Or he could be thinking, I've done everything that I can. I'm going to be okay with whatever result comes from this. But that just shows, man, if you are a 4th, 5th receiver, you got to get in the punt return game. You got to get on kickoff. You got to do everything that you can possibly do just to hang around this league. And if you are able to do that, you might just be rewarded. So I just want to give Cody some love, because it's hard to get cut year after year after year and to come back and have the same spirit that he had. We interviewed him, and he was still excited to be there. He was excited for the opportunity. So I'm happy for Cody. I thought he was going to be the first receiver cut, honestly. I thought it was going to be tougher to make this squad. But after the MVS situation, they went with a younger guy who can do what? Play special teams, right? You got your first 2 who ain't touching special teams. Coop ain't touching it. Jason ain't touched it. After that, Horton's playing, Bobo's playing, Derek is playing, and Cody White is playing. Big ups to my receivers playing special teams who aren't just receiving the ball.
Is there a concern you have about the receiver group as a whole? Because I can promise you that, this, national critics not especially high on Seattle's receiver group.
The thing is, they don't have a for sure dynamic duo. We think they might. We think Cooper Kupp is going to be fine. We think Jason. But when you think of the best duos in the game, I mean, you go right to the top, right? You go to Higgins and Chase. You go to I'm blanking on the names right now.
Could have been Pickens and Metcalf, but the Steelers had to ruin it for us.
Metcalf's ruined it, but
devastating.
Most teams,
Addison and Jefferson.
Yeah, there you go. Most teams have that duo, or just that one for sure thing. I think JSN can be that, but he has to do it without DK.
Yeah.
This is going to be Jason's year to reestablish himself. I think people already think he's one of the best 12 receivers in the game, but if he can come out here, go for 1,100, and just take a lot of the responsibility, that'll put him on a different level.
4th down. What should Bump and Stacy listeners be doing this weekend?
Well, one, they should be rating and reviewing our podcast.
Please do.
That'd be great.
It's easy to find.
But 2, shameless plug, I will be calling the ASU Northern Arizona game on Saturday at 7 on ESPN Plus. So you got to have a little, you got to have that ESPN package going. But it should be a good game. They got Sam Levitt over there with ASU. He's a quarterback that I think a lot of people are going to know about if you don't know about him already. One of the more mobile quarterbacks in the game. He has a receiver in Tyson over there as well. And then NAU, they got some coaches. Second year from Pittsburgh State. You got Coach Wright over there. And first time they made the FCS playoffs in, I think it was since 2017 or something last year. Won 5 games in a row to end the season. It should be a good fight in the first quarter. Now, NAU showed that they can hang with University of Arizona last year, but then Arizona kind of fell off. But this should be an interesting game. You got dust storms coming in today in Phoenix. Please clear up for my flight tomorrow.
Scene.
Come on now. But if you're not doing nothing,
that's scary.
Saturday, 7 p.m. Holla at your boy.
Curtis, were he here, would be not at all floored by this because he went to school at Arizona. But my parents live in Arizona for a good chunk of the year, and I don't visit them there often, but the last time I did, which was a couple years ago, it started pouring down rain, and I was like, what do you mean there's Arizona has weird weather. It's sunny 99% of the time, and when it's not sunny, it is an apocalyptic event. So maybe it's a dust storm, maybe it is suddenly a thunderstorm and a monsoon, but it's whenever it's not beautiful and hot and sunny, you might die. It's the weather there scares me. I didn't know that was a thing. It's it started dumping rain out of nowhere, and it didn't stop.
The desert is a weird place.
It's so weird.
It's a weird place.
No wonder not many animals live there.
They're there.
They're there, but they're not the cute ones. No one wants, you know what I mean? They're not really the animals we care about.
Reptiles and stuff, you don't rock with those?
Sometimes they have little foxes, little rabbit things.
Little rabbits,
those are cute.
Yeah, right.
But the other animals are ugly.
Nah.
I can do without them.
You gotta survive that heat.
Yeah. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners conclude their series against the Padres today at 1:10 p.m. for a matinee series finale. Shannon Dreyer has the pregame show starting at noon. We will send you there in just under 40 minutes. Timeline coming your way next.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. This afternoon, it's the series finale against the Padres. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon.
The 50 Home Run Club.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Perfect timing on that one, Matt. You can't see us. You were probably getting frustrated because you could hear us talking with about 5 minutes to go until we were back. But we were calling reporters in the dugout to see who would answer their phone and who wouldn't. And Gary called Aaron Goldsmith. Guess if he answered his phone.
Oh, he did not.
He looked at it. He was wearing an Apple Watch, so it felt like cheating. But he looked at his Apple Watch, and then he gave us a thumbs up and didn't answer. Alex answered, though, our true friend, Alex Mayer. All right, let's get to the actual sports stories we're here to talk about. This morning's edition of FS1's First Things First started with Chris Broussard learning about the biggest sports story of the decade, live on air in Cut 3.
Live from New York, it's a show that is congratulating Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And, Brew, did you hear this?
No.
I knew it! Oh, you didn't hear about the news at all?
I did on Taylor Swift.
Brew is the only man in America that doesn't know this yet.
That's the only thing it can be, right?
He's the best. Can you believe that?
I'm a grown, give me the camera. I'm a grown man.
Bro,
all right? I'm not getting excited about celebrities getting engaged. All right?
I'm a grown man too.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm a grown man.
I got work. So they engaged? Is that
yes,
what
they're engaged. That's not what I was teeing you up for.
Congratulations.
I knew he wasn't
Travis
gonna know.
is from Cleveland. I like Travis. Congratulations. That's great.
I knew he wasn't going to know, bro.
Chris would have been mad yesterday.
Listen, there's no way he didn't pick up his phone.
No.
Look at it. Any social media, any ESPN, whatever.
They had push notifications.
There's no way he didn't know. He's leading into this bit, and I guess good for him. But let's be real, man.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I picked up my phone right after you announced it to us.
Yep.
And it was the first thing that I saw.
I think it's really, really, it's so cool to pretend to not know about something that is like absolutely has been talked about. Like maybe he found out on air. Like maybe this was like a minute after the news broke. Like within 10, you certainly heard about it.
Yeah.
But maybe it was within a minute.
Okay.
Sure, I get it.
Time matters, I guess. Time matters.
Now he's laughing about it and joking about it. But another thing that kind of I'm like, why? When I don't care about something, I just go okay, or I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good
Right.
for them.
Cool.
Yeah, lots of things I don't care about.
Okay.
I think it's weird how some people get mad.
They do.
Like really mad where they need to like tell the world that they don't care about Taylor Swift. And I just want to know, maybe it takes some self-reflection to figure out what it is that triggers you about like a pop culture sports crossover story.
I don't know. I think
it's weird.
I think he's old school, and he feels that he should always express that pop culture doesn't matter. That's what I think.
But so much of sports has become pop culture.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Some of it isn't, though. You know?
Some of it is not. No, I absolutely.
I think he's holding on to an ancient way of thinking.
Yes, it mostly stays in its own lane, as does pop culture. But there are so many athletes that are celebrities now, or that date celebrities. It just kind of has crossover. Yeah. Some Aaron's here. Hey, Aaron, we called you earlier. We're so glad you could make it. Some funny sports reactions to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's engagement. The Cleveland Guardians tweeted, "Thanks a lot, Taylor Swift. Now no one cares that next year's schedule is out along with next season's scheduled." I think that was the best one. The Boston Celtics tweeted, "Days since Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged, 0. Days until the Life of a Showgirl drops," that's her new album, 37. Days until Celtics basketball, 56.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a marketing ploy.
Get eyes on whatever you want eyes to get on, and use it to your advantage instead of being salty.
Someone said, are you done with the Taylor and Travis story? Can I turn my radio back on? You can, but I will warn you, I think this one's worse. Here we go. Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. You want to stay, don't change it. You want to hear this, it's ridiculous. I promise it's worth it. Have filed a trademark on the word gold digger to make a line of jewelry and keychains.
First off, Kanye should have that first.
Yeah.
Because he dropped I was maybe in high school when that came out.
It was an all-time great.
Yeah, all-time great. Listen, this is America. You can monetize almost anything. And this was definitely her doing, I feel like. I feel like she's laying at the beach with Bill, and they're brainstorming ideas, and he's halfway listening, and then he perks up a little bit, and he goes, you know what? That's actually a good one. Go ahead and do that. But they're gonna make some paper, man.
He's looking at that playbook.
Yeah.
Is what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Last night, a young Angels fan made an amazing trade with Zach Neto. She brought a sign reading, "Hey, Professor Chaos, I will trade you your favorite candy for your bat." And he accepted 2 bags of sweet tart ropes in exchange for his bat.
That's awesome.
Zach Neto, that's awesome.
But you know what?
I love candy exchanges.
He opened up the floodgates now. It's like your mom feeding the raccoon. You do it once, they're going to keep coming back. Now people are going to always be asking for stuff.
Aaron's judging my scorebook. It's not going to pass the test, Aaron. It's a horribly kept scorebook. 9 times out of 10, I give up in the 7th.
That's all that matters.
That's not even. I'll show you the best penmanship during the break. Stacy, we're live. I'm sorry, we're live. We're on live radio. Back to it.
Aaron, stop distracting my hosts.
The 2026 MLB schedule has been released. The San Francisco Giants will host the New York Yankees to start Major League Baseball season on March 25th, the earliest opening day other than international games. The Mariners will open their season at home against the Cleveland Guardians, also their next opponent.
That's too far along down into the future for me. You know, I take it one lap at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time, one blink at a time, one drink at a time.
Someone said, how do you think Bill Belichick even met Jordan? I'll tell you, on a plane. A couple years ago when she was maybe or maybe not like 19 or 20. I know the answer to this.
Of course you did.
I know, but yeah. Earlier today, the Enhanced Games filed an $800 million antitrust lawsuit in federal court for what it claims is an illegal campaign to make athletes boycott its event. World Aquatics, USA Swimming, and the World Anti-Doping Agency were named as the defendants in this case. The Enhanced Games are seeking damages and injunctive relief to stop what they say is the defendants' illegal campaign. The point of the Enhanced Games, if you couldn't tell by the name, is to allow athletes to use performance-enhancing substances without being subject to drug tests.
I'm so excited for this. I am. I want to see what the human body can do without any limits, with all the chemicals and substances in your body. How far can we push it?
You hit 73 home runs.
I would hit 73 with one hand. Because I see these guys at the gym all the time, and I'm like, you're putting up stupid weight. You're swole as heck. You are clearly taking some substance that I don't want to put in my body, but I appreciate watching you jack up 315 pounds on the bench 25 times. I want to see swimmers break records. I want to see sprinters break records. This is what I do think is going to happen, though. People are going to get hurt at a high rate. Those muscles are going to be so tight, people are going to get hurt at a high rate.
Well, devil's advocate, though, isn't one of the, not like signs, but one of the things that people say is like, it also lets you recover very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. So some athletes have taken it as they've aged, and not only just so you can hit 1 million home runs, but also so that you can recover and not feel the wear and tear on your body.
Well, that's not why they're doing this.
No.
They are doing this to push their body to the limit.
Earlier in the show, I mentioned that Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice is facing, at minimum, a 6-game suspension from the NFL. Well, he's accepting and will serve that 6-game suspension to start the 2025 regular season. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero with that report.
You would think they want to keep Sky Moore over that situation, but nah, he's over with the 49ers. But, yeah, you take your medicine. You take your punishment. You did something you're not supposed to be doing. Did he try to flee the scene, too, after the accident? He had some green stuff on him. Was that the situation I'm thinking about?
I don't know why, but did flee the scene.
Yeah, fled the scene.
Yeah. There were multiple injuries, too.
Yeah,
it was serious.
Sure. No, you take your punishment, man. Good job.
Yeah. Someone said swole golfers I do want to know if the Enhanced Games is going to run like the Olympics. Like
the events?
What's the most ridiculous sport where you could have someone on PEDs?
I want to see dudes playing rugby on PEDs.
See, I feel like something stupid like darts.
Darts.
With just swole,
But it's skill.
huge
It has to
arms.
be something with brute strength. Like darts
That
is such
is
a skill.
brute strength.
It's all skill.
But I'm just saying,
those
what would be the
European-
dumbest? It depends whether or not you count things like pool or darts or bowling.
Curling.
Bowling. Curling on PEDs. Matt, if you have one you'd like to submit, feel free. Badminton, maybe?
Badminton.
Pickleball.
The dumbest sport to have someone on PEDs. Pickleball. Oh, I love it. All right. We are going to send you to the Mariners pregame show for matinee coming up in about 40 minutes. Until then, get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Historical. Are you buying it? You like that?
Historical. Brock and Salk.
It sounds too much like Dangerous. That's my problem.
Morning 6 to 10.
Can you get to 54 to tie Mickey Mantle or pass him at 55 for switch hitting home runs in a season? Can you get to 56 or 57 to tie or pass Junior?
For me, it would be Griffin. Hitting in the Kingdome for those years, a totally different era from pitching. I think even Ken would go, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Only on Seattle Sports.
Are you in pain? This is Dave Wyman, and if you're experiencing pain in your shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, or knee, do what my friend and co-host Bob Stelton did and go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
It's been a huge game changer. After 13 years of jiu-jitsu, I had a lot of issues with my hip. It was bad, so I'd heard a ton of patients raving about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, so I had to check it out. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. Now, people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back to doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
What's up? I'm Phil Briggs, here from my friends at Navy Federal Credit Union. Whether you're looking to buy a new or used car or maybe just want to refinance your current loan, Navy Federal Credit Union has great rates on auto loans. You can apply via their mobile app or online, and in most cases get a decision in seconds. So get a great car and great rates with Navy Federal Credit Union. Credit and collateral subject to approval, rates subject to change, and are based on credit worthiness. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA, and you can learn more at NavyFederal.org/auto.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right, junior colleges, tech schools, universities. Just verify your student ID in the app, unlock exclusive deals, and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR in the letter U.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
It's about grit.
Leonard Williams drags him down.
Running through whatever gets in your way.
The handoff to Charbonnet. Stiff arms a man, turns, first down. Oh my goodness, what a blast!
Fighting for every yard.
The handoff to Walker. He breaks a tackle, comes back to the near side, stumbles across the 10, breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Seahawks!
And a drive that never ends. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's What I Need to Know. Get your questions in 866-979-3776. What I need to know. If you had only one wish that would affect the Seahawks regular season, but you can't ask for like a postseason berth. You can't say, I wish they'd make the postseason, but you do get to make a wish about the team that comes true. What's it going to be?
Sam Darnold will be a top 5 quarterback in the game.
Yeah, that's the best one. I was going to say like that the run game be number one, but the answer is the better your quarterback, the better your chances. What I need to know, if the Mariners go 1-out in the playoffs, how do you view the season? I think we're making the playoffs, but our pitching feels so shaky.
I think it would be, say they win the division and go 1-out.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't be as disappointed as, I'd just be disappointed, yeah. You got to win at least a series, regardless how you get in.
Well, and look, Bump and I, for a reason, had an entire segment today talking about how they could be one of the better teams in the American League this year, especially with the way that the league is and how competitive it is. Feels like a year in which a team with flaws could get further than you normally would. You know, there isn't like this big bad team that's you're gonna run into and be like, I don't even know how to get past these guys.
Right.
A hope and a prayer. So they should. I mean, you can make baseball reasons for the Mariners to get pretty far in the playoffs.
Right.
What I need to know, Bump, I'm about to take my 5-year-old daughter to a driving range for her first time. Any tips for her first swings with her first real club?
If they're rental clubs, tell her to choke down on it. And just don't coach her up. Just make contact with the ball. Make it fun. You coach up too much, then she's going to have a bad experience and she's not going to want to play again. So just choke down on the club, swing, have some fun, get her some fries, and make her laugh.
I was going to say the same thing. Let's see. Oh, I've actually seen this question before, and I have an answer, but you should go first. When you have a car ahead of you at a red light, it turns green, and they don't move. How long before you lay on the horn?
Well, I'm not laying on the horn, but I give them like 3 seconds. Give them a little boop.
Yeah, I think 1, 2. I might at 2.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it, if it was like 1, 2, I'm just.
Yeah. I'm not.
No. Just
I'm not that guy.
pop up. Just a little courtesy tap, just to let him know. But I don't think I wait very long. I'm probably a really impatient. It depends if I have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit that I've been an impatient
So a guy
driver.
honked at me the other day.
Why?
Because I didn't make a right, but there was a red arrow. And he's honking at me, "Brr," and I just looked in the mirror and I went,
oh.
It's a red arrow.
Nothing makes me more, like, self-righteous and satisfied than when someone honks and then they're in the wrong. So, like, an example of this happening is, like, someone honks because they don't realize that you have a free right, but there are pedestrians. So they're like, come on! And then the pedestrian kind of comes into view, and you get to go, oh, so you want to be a murderer? Or when someone, honks or does something, and it's like a two-way stop, and you want to be like, oh, well, actually, maybe you should go back to driving school. This is not a four-way stop, sir. I do have the right of way. Oh, nothing feels better than that.
Feels better.
Matt, this one's for you. It says, do you think we went to the moon? And if you do, why do you think we didn't go back?
The amount of resources it takes to send someone to the moon. That, and I don't know if you've ever seen Apollo 13 or...
Oh, the movie?
The movie? Is that the one with Tom Hanks?
It is based on a real story, and it is dangerous to go to space.
So is Love and Basketball, but
Here's my thing that I said earlier. I am not necessarily co-signing Bump's conspiracy theory that we didn't land on the moon.
I'm saying
I have follow-up questions. My follow-up question is this. There is an expedition to go to circle the moon and come back to Earth. And Matt, you said, it's really, really expensive to go to the moon. But if you're already there, why can't you get out and step on it?
Yeah, it's just that easy. It's just that easy.
Matt, response.
You just hop out of the capsule, land down, jump back up, and you're good. Yeah, why don't they do that? That's such a good question,
Stacy. What's
Stacy.
crazy about this? Matthew has only one argument.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's expensive. It's not easy.
You know what that phone is going to be like?
Put me on the moon. I'll get out. I'll walk it.
Oh my God. We're only 3 days into the week. I need Curtis to come back. I can't.
That's what's so cool about it. Matt, you have 2 more days with us.
2 more long days.
It's going to be fun. We're all going to have fun.
No.
I've been having
You're going to come out of
this
this a better person, I think. What I need
I'm the only person who thinks we landed on the moon in this show.
No, I didn't say I didn't think. No, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
Just leave some room.
Yeah, and I said I have follow-up questions. No one said we didn't. No one said we didn't land on the moon. You're putting words in our mouth.
Yeah.
We said we have some questions that you can't answer.
Yeah.
And so maybe we need to find a scientist. Matt, you're the producer. Can we book? Can you find a moon man to book
or woman
for tomorrow? Thank you. To the patriarchy. Can you find a moon person to book for tomorrow in addition to like Ryan Roland-Smith?
I would not respect any scientist or astrophysicist who would come on a show with 2 conspiracy theorists.
Okay, great.
And
can you
show.
Can you also tell Ryan Roland-Smith that if we are able to book an astronaut or NASA scientist, that he is we'll just push him to Friday?
I think we just have Ryan in on the interview. I think we let Ryan ask about the moon, too.
I'm fine with that.
During a break, Stacy asked, what year is the moon?
No idea.
So, I'm really looking forward to that conversation.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't recall.
It's the way you phrased the question.
It was, what year was the moon? I'm not proud of myself and what I said. Someone said, but it would mean they lied about it in the movie. Okay, we're not peddling a conspiracy theory. We're responsible adults.
That's funny. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, it doesn't. What I need to know. Have you ever taken credit for something you didn't do? Yeah, sometimes Curtis will write a great headline rewrite and I'll read it. But it's not like on purpose. It's just that's how we like phrase it up. Or you just throw it to me and I'll read it. But he's written some really funny ones.
Not that I
not
can
my
remember.
Urban Meyer one.
I'm sure I have, but I can't remember one right now. No. Maybe like in a group project where I did minimal work.
You know why? Because the guilt of doing that is too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a mean thing to do. Oh, I forgot I have a heart out.
Uh-oh. Do you have a clock?
Yeah. Let me get my clock going. Live radio. Here we go. Digital clock. I'm buying
Take it
myself.
away too long.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because we have a lineup that I'm about to read. The Mariners have a matinee series finale today, taking on the Padres before they hit the road for another trip, this one against the Guardians. Your lineup today, Rosarena, Raleigh, your catcher, Rodriguez, Naylor, Suarez, Polanco, Rayleigh, Crawford, Young, Brian Wu on the mound.
Yeah.
He's starting this one.
Playing,
he's playing this one in the finale. And
who's calling the game?
Rick Riz
Hey.
is going to be on the call, and we are sending you to the pregame show now.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. This afternoon, it's the series finale against the Padres. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon.
The 50 home run club.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
How we going, mates? It's Ryan Roland-Smith for Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. If you haven't heard about it already, at the start of this year, I decided to get in the best shape of my life. So I lost 30 pounds of body fat and I kept all that lean muscle. Best decision I ever made. People ask me all the time, what was the motivation to get in such good shape? So a couple of things. Number one, who doesn't want to be in the best shape of their life, right? Obviously physically, but for me, more important mentally. And it starts with a diet, and I finally figured out you can't outwork it. Eastside gave me all the tools I needed to be able to prepare food, have tons of energy, and was never, ever hungry. But there are some other motivators too. I had to lose a bunch of visceral fat. I found out I had way too much of that, especially as I hit my 40s. But one more, look, this is the most important one. I wanted to set a really good example for my kids, to be the best version of myself. My kids look up to me, and I want to be the absolute best example and role model. So look, if any of these resonate with you, there's no better time to start. The time is right now. Make that free 15-minute call to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic and get it started today. It'll change your life like it did mine.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2.